The land of Oz has a rich and wondrous history that many are familiar with. The great wizard was inspired to build the Emerald City to benefit the Ozians. He inspired artists, thinkers, and scientists alike. He was a benefactor. He won the hearts and the minds of its citizens as well as those from other lands. People living in the city are happy. The people loved Oz. He had heart. They enjoy life in the evenings, dining in fine restaurants, and listening to live music. But there's another story that few people are aware of. The wizard also believed that the spirit of Oz could be captured by an elite cycling team, which he named the Oz Wheels of Wonder. These riders would travel the winding emerald roads that snaked through the hills. No team had ever beaten the Wheels of Wonder in any race, as it required both strength and endurance. The team is led by two champions, Glinda and Elphaba. Both legends in their own right, their destinies had shaped the team's legacy and the lore of the Emerald Hills. But like many legends, this story has villains and heroes. We begin with Elphaba. It was her mother, Melina Throp. Her bike was a bulky black frame made from old broomsticks, but she was known as the Iron Witch. Yet, Melina's career was tragically cut short by illness. As her strength faded, she bequeathed her latest racing bike to Elphaba, a gesture mostly driven by guilt, shame, and emotional detachment. Unlike Elphaba, Glinda's path was one of privilege. Born to a family of celebrated professional cyclists, Glinda's life was paved with opportunity. Every bike she rode was top of the line. Her jerseys custom-tailored from shimmering fabrics. Her race strategies honed by the finest coaches in Oz.
I ride bikes, I look great, I get likes. I am so special.
But there's another legend that even fewer people know about. Peter, a modest man that few people would notice. He was also an elite cyclist, so he knew there was something wrong with the Wizards team. They were too good. Elphaba, in particular. She went too fast and never seemed to drink water. She claimed it made her melt. Suspecting magic, Peter never rode for the wizard. Instead, he dedicated his years to the Oracle of Oz, who often competed with the wizard. The Oracle was the real economic engine of Oz, driven by new technology.
I am techno.
The wizard's castles were old,
I buzz and beat.
while the Oracle buildings were modern,
I am techno.
towering above the city.
I'm a creep. I am techno.
And the Oracle introduced
I
new
buzz and
ideas,
beep. I am techno.
like artificial intelligence,
I'm a creep.
and robots. People were both fascinated and worried about these new developments, AI and the robots.
I am techno, I buzz and beep. I am techno, I'm a creep.
It seemed as though they didn't have,
I buzz and beep.
well,
I am techno,
a heart.
I'm a creep.
One of the main events in Oz is the great race to the mythical Jefferson Avenue. The Wheels of Wonder always win, but the great oracle challenged them by putting up his own team, Peter.
I'm intense, I bite.
The course is tough, as it passes the emerald green hillsides on the west side of Knobblehead Pike, at the foothills of the great Kiamoko Castle, all the way up to Jefferson Avenue. Peter was very worried, not just the course, but the wizard's magic. Tonight might not be a good night to drink. It was just after dawn. The sun was just rising over the city and the Emerald Hills. Peter had already started ascending. His intensity blinded him of the beautiful landscape around him. As daylight grew dim, he caught a glimpse of Glinda and Elphaba racing by, along with their team. Initially, he couldn't keep up. What really worried Peter was the unexpected, the magic that might slow him down. The mischievous flying monkeys. Their glaring eyes, chittering squeals, and badgering attacks. They fly in swarms. They have a reputation of slowing down the competing teams, all at the wizard's direction. He felt confused, unable to think. Like the scarecrows he passed, he felt he could navigate if he only had a brain. As he gathered his thoughts, Peter reassured himself that he was not lost, just bamboozled by monkeys and avoiding the climbs. It was time to change tactics. He had forsaken his lifelong cycling motto, ABC, always be climbing.
Always be climbing. Always be climbing. Always be climbing. Always be climbing.
Peter embraced the darkness and climbed into the unknown, but he was too far behind the others. They might get there first. He stopped to think, to collect his wits. He got off his bike, sat on the ground. Then, from nowhere, he heard thunder. Clouds began to emerge rapidly. He could feel electricity in the air. It could only be one thing, Peter thought. It's the cloud, the oracle cloud. The oracle was here to help. The oracle provided the power to overcome the wizard's magic. As the clouds dispersed, Peter felt a strange feeling in his feet. They were electrified, glowing and bursting with energy. When Peter stood up, he noticed that his shoes were changing color. Rubies began to encrust them, and as they did, they glowed with such intensity, they lit the path around them. Peter felt energized. He felt magical. He got on his bike and started to race again, but it was so dark. He was still lost. His ruby shoes were not enough to light his way. And behold, golden sparks emerged from his wheels. The path before him turned into golden yellow bricks. He could navigate the night. He easily passed through the trees and the mist, and the long path ahead was easily seen. But he was still worried he was too far behind. To stay focused, he repeated the chant, "There's no place like Jefferson Avenue. There's no place like Jefferson Avenue." As he repeated it, the sky began to open up. Like a vortex, a tornado of stars. He felt a warping of time and space. Peter was pulled in. His mind swirled like the elements around him. When he emerged and regained his bearings, he saw it. There it was. Jefferson Avenue. Peter was relieved. When he looked at the signpost again, a small dog appeared sitting at the base of the lamppost. It was a cairn terrier, looking up at him with those big eyes. Peter picked her up. She was cold, but in good shape. He put her on his back, where she clutched tightly and warmly, and then they rode off again to return to the Emerald City. It was dark, but he only needed to follow the yellow brick road. As they rode, he thought about how Elphaba knew the wizard was cheating, and she still couldn't win. She is probably very angry and will probably turn against him. When Peter arrived back at the Emerald City, the crowds were waiting. They cheered him on, celebrating his miraculous achievement. Bands were playing, people dancing. Everyone wanted to be with Peter. As he mingled with the people, it seemed that everyone he touched was somehow changed. Better, maybe even smarter. He even engaged with a Tin Man, who miraculously smiled. Peter had magically given him life, personality, a heart. All the Tin Men he touched had become happy and joyful. People genuinely loved them all. The wizard, angry about having lost to the Oracle, changed the zoning laws in Oz, forcing the Oracle to move his headquarters to Austin, Texas. Elphaba's spirit grew darker and angrier, more witch-like, as she fought with Glinda about how they lost the race. She was determined to get her hands on those shoes. And that's when Peter realized it was the ruby shoes that gave him this magic. He didn't want to use magic to win at cycling or anything else. So he decided to give the shoes to Elphaba's sister, Nessarose. As for the dog, Peter would eventually give it to his niece, Dorothy, who lived in Kansas. Legend has it she named it Toto. He hoped she might come to Oz to visit someday. Who knows? She just might. You guys don't look anything like the characters in the movie. This is dreadful. Who's your agent? Next!
I am so special. I ride bikes. I look great. I get likes. I'm so special. I ride bikes. I look great. I get likes.
Hello! She has 3 arms! Cut!
I am so special. I ride bikes. I look great. I get likes. I am so special. I ride bikes. I look great. I get likes. I'm so special.
Who's the casting director here? Who are these people?
I'm so special. I ride bikes. I look great.
I'm
I get
exasperated.
likes. I am so special.
Oh my God! What is it with arms? Cut! Where's the dog? Where's the dog? No! That doesn't happen! Are you just letting in the general public now? Who renders these people? Yes, these are the ones. Sign them up. Put them on the poster. No, the other poster. No, the other poster. Yes, that's it. Perfect.